Maybe that's John.
Good evening. Call to order the June Health and Human Services Committee meeting. Is there any additions, changes to the minutes of last month's meeting? Okay. Seeing none, is there anybody from the public that would wish to speak? I believe Mr. Ambrose, I'll call you up at this time. I believe you wanted to address the committee about some things within community services.
Some of you probably heard last week that Jefferson County was one of 17 counties that got funds from the $3.4 million grant that was approved through the Senate Opioid and Substance Abuse Committee. It's a Senate line item fund, and Senator Ritchie sits on that committee. I've already called her to thank her. We got $156,000. It's directed for services in the jail across the state. Some counties, larger counties, got up to $400,000. The smaller counties got between $156,000 and $300,000. So we're real happy about that. This legislature approved a resolution a couple of months ago supporting that effort. The Conference of Mental Hygiene Directors was really involved in supporting and lobbying for that. It's a one-year line item right now. We're hoping we'll get a second year, but we'll have to wait and see. So for now, we'll be working with the providers in the community and the sheriff to determine the best way to use those funds. They are directed towards the opiate epidemic, obviously, and we'll be providing some treatment services in the jail for the first time in a very long time. We have staff down there who do evaluations. We have some informational and educational programming down there, but it's the first time OASIS has been sending money our way to use for treatment services in jails in a really long time. So we're waiting for some guidance from the Office of Alcohol and Substance Abuse Services. Doesn't sound like there are going to be a lot of restrictions in terms of how we use these funds, so we're really looking forward to establishing some services. And part of the process will be to make sure that we have some benchmarks, if we can do some, if we can establish some guidelines and some goals and be able to measure those goals then I think we'll have a better shot at getting the funds extended for another year and maybe beyond that. So thank you for being a part of that. Not all the county legislators in the state were as enthusiastic, but this one was, and we really appreciate your efforts.
Thank you, Roger. Any questions? Mr. Gray?
This grant, it's not neither of those. It's for treatment while people are in the jail. We will use some of the funds to do discharge planning to make sure that people are given a direction as soon as so that when they are discharged, they have a program already set up for them. They have an established provider available for them. But it's not directed for detox services. Yeah. And our jail is relatively small, so how much we can pack counselors and therapists into our jail is still a challenge for the sheriff. But she's been very helpful in the services that we already provide down there. So and she's aware this is coming. So we're looking forward to working with her.
So what is this meant to be used for then? Hiring staff individuals to work with?
Yeah, probably what we'll be doing is looking at established counselors who already work for providers in the community who can extend their services down to the jail. We're also possibility of peer services, so individuals who have been through treatment programming themselves, successfully in recovery, who might be able to go down and work with the inmates as well. So yeah, and we probably, the providers won't be the county, that will be contracting with either Credo or Samaritan to actually hire the staff to work down there. And again, they already have some experienced staff in the jail. It's a good opportunity, really, I think, for some, not new, but some early career substance abuse counselors to get some experience in that setting. I think it'd be really helpful for them. Okay.
Any other questions?
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, guess we'll roll into our resolutions for the evening.
First resolution this evening is amending the 2018 county budget relative to additional state aid for the community services programs and authorizing agreements in relation thereto.
Motion, please. Mr. Maxson, second. Mr. Ferris. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
Amending the 2018 county budget relative to departmental health benefit accounts.
A motion, please. Mr. Drake, second. Mrs. Fitzpatrick. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
Next, amending the 2018 county budget relative to public health department accounts.
Motion, please. Mrs. Fitzpatrick. Second, Mr. Doldo. Any discussion? Mr. Maxson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. These radios, are they designed to work with our new fancy radio system?
That's exactly correct.
Wow.
Although most of this is going to medical supplies, but yes, that is part of it.
Any further questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. We have some departmental reports. Is there any other questions or concerns to come before the committee?
I would just point out for OFA in the report, the senior picnic is Wednesday the 18th. Right? Okay, so have everybody put that on their calendar.
Make sure that's stricken from the record, Mr. Ferris. I guess if there's no further business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Mr. Maxson, second. Mr. Drake. Thank you.
No, this is fine.
Oh, Roger.
Well, that's right. Just blame it on Roger.
Right. Yep. Yep.
Again, I'm just asking.
Thank you. You don't have much of a view of the alley. That's from your house.
I am not used to it. Very quiet. Yeah, very quiet.
You feel.
I'm being Jenny.
Jenny's not here to make the noises, so Carolyn, I think it's... I'd like to call to order the June meeting of the Standing Committee on Finance and Rules. At this time, I'd like to offer privilege of the floor. Seeing no one coming to the microphone, we'll move on to approval of the May minutes. Any deletions, corrections? If not, they'll stand as presented. And I guess it didn't take long. At this time, I'd like to introduce JCC President Ty Stone.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you this evening, and thank you for your ongoing support of Jefferson Community College. I just wanted to share some information with you with some facts and figures about what we have been able to do and the accomplishments that we have done. A lot of, in part, is because of the support that we get from you every year. So the first number I'd like to share is the number that Joel Lalone spoke to you about last week, and that is in the survey of the community. This is a strong indicator of the quality of life survey. We had the highest indicator at 74% of Jefferson County residents who rate access to education either excellent or good. We think this is directly related to the fact that people are excited and satisfied by the work that Jefferson Community College does. So this is a big thing for us. We are a great resource for the community. In this year, we awarded 616 degrees to 587 graduates. 72% of our student population are Jefferson County residents. You see there are top 5 programs of study, but the big program that we usually talk about is the nursing program. What you see there is we had 30 graduates in the nursing program this year, which is an increase of 25% over last year. 80% of those individuals stay right here in the area and work for Samaritan Hospital, making on average $60,000 their first year. 97% of our graduates are either successfully employed and or pursuing continuing education. Also, we have provided, we do a service for the high schools with the EDGE program. Last year, we provided over 5,000 credit hours. What this means to parents is a savings of almost $750,000 in student tuition. We received $1.25 million for the Liberty Partnership Grant. This grant is designed to help support 200 underserved students in Jefferson County every year for 5 years in grades 5 through 12. We also have the Small Business Development Center that we host on our campus, and that center is responsible this year for serving 580 clients in this area, supporting 92 startups and bringing in over $14 million in either expansion or startup business funding to this region. So I would say we provide a very positive return on your investment. As Jewel of the North Country, we received a couple of accolades, and I always love to talk about our accolades at Jefferson Community College. The first one is the 2018 Active Minds Healthy Campus Award. We were amongst the ranks of Duke University in Oregon, and we were the only community college in the country to receive this award. We have been ranked 57th in the nation by Wallet Hub out of 700 community colleges. We received an endowment from we received $95,000 from the National Endowment on Humanities. There were only 13 of them awarded, and we were the only community college in SUNY to get one. We're ranked number 2 nursing program in the state, but we are number 1 amongst community colleges. And we received the 2018 Best for Vets designation. Just a little by the numbers for you, as you know all of this stuff. Our total projected operating budget this year is $29.5 million. We have managed, so that's a pretty flat budget. We have managed the reductions in our budget through reducing our personnel costs and equipment costs. However, we still maintain high standards for delivering quality education to our students. Last year, our annual FTE numbers was about 2,600 students, and this year we are trending at about, right now, 1.6% up for fall. We hope to keep that trend moving forward. However, our enrollments over the past 5 years have been going downward, on a downward trend, and we've been about 12% overall since 2013. Our funding mix is a little bit difficult to see there, but tuition and fees, we are supported 43% with tuition and fees. That's our student part of the mix. The state provides about 28%, our local sponsor 24%, and then there's an offset, which would be our fund balance of 7% of our general operating budget. So for this budget process, we advocated many months ago for the state to change the way they fund us. Right now we are paid by FTE, as I'm sure you know. With FTE going down, that causes an issue. So we advocated to the state for a fixed funding model with incremental increases. That didn't happen. Instead, we received an increase of $100 per FTE, which still resulted in us getting about $41,000 less than we had in previous years because of our enrollment decline. So we are proposing for our budget this year a 3.7% increase in tuition, a planned usage of our fund balance of $171,000, and we're requesting a 2% increase from our sponsor. And that completes my presentation. It is. No, we actually projected down for the fall. We are up right now, but that could be for a number of reasons, like we're hitting it harder now, or we've got people making the decision to come to us earlier. We are hoping that that continues, but as you mentioned, all across the country, colleges are seeing still a downward trend in enrollment. Usually after the fall term starts, we actually get the number. No, it normally happens after we do the final purge. So everybody, they get their financial aid in and get all that stuff. We do a final purge, and that's when we're pretty solid on our number.
Yes, Legislator Peck.
Thank you, Mr. Monticelli. Have you, or do you know how many students, or have you seen much activity or interest take place with the Excelsior Scholarship that the governor put in place last year?
We have less than 150, I believe, students who have qualified for the Excelsior Scholarship with our college. There are pretty tight criteria for who can use that scholarship. So we haven't had a whole lot of students using it.
Further questions for Dr. Stone? Nobody? Going once? Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Stone.
Thank you so much.
On to the agenda and resolutions brought forward by the Finance and Rules Committee.
First resolution of the evening, adopting 2018-2019 Jefferson Community College budget.
May I have a motion, please? Legislator Fitzpatrick. Legislator Drake. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
Appropriation for conduct of Jefferson Community College for fiscal year 2018-2019.
Motion, please. Legislator Cantwell. Legislator Drake. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
Amending the 2018 county budget in relation to employment and training department.
Motion, please. Legislator McBride. Legislator Nabawanek. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
Next is amending the 2018 county budget in relation to employment and training department.
Motion, please. Legislator McBride. Legislator Nabawanek. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
Authorizing agreement with Nicola and Lightspeed Technologies Incorporated for purchase of microwave communications equipment, professional services for the county public safety emergency radio system.
Motion, please. Legislator Fitzpatrick. Legislator Cantwell. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Oh, one moment. Legislator Peck.
Yes, just quickly, just to know, is this covered by any grants? Does any percentage of grants that we've received in the past go towards the cost of this purchase?
It probably depends how you consider bond issues. But I think in this case, that really is a good question, and I'm not certain if it's going to fit into some of the $6 million on the grant or not. Anthony, do you happen to know for sure?
I don't know. This is
so
part
it's
of our
not-
budget for the radio project.
Yes, it is, but let's get that answer, just to be certain, but yeah.
Be one of those, depends on what the definition of is, probably. I guess we had discussion, so any, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. Moving on to resolutions presented by General Services Committee.
Amending the 2018 county budget in relation to the county road fund.
Motion, please. Legislator McBride and Legislator Drake. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Amending the 2018 county budget and capital plan in relation to the county bridge account.
Motion, please. Legislator Johnson, Legislator Drake. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Modifying the 2018 STOP DWI plan and amending the 2018 county budget in relation thereto.
Motion, please. Legislator Johnson, Legislator McBride. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Authorizing agreements for an additional allocation for the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee STOP DWI crackdown enforcement grant and amending the 2018 county budget in relation thereto.
Motion, please. Legislator Fitzpatrick, Legislator Cantwell. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, resolution sponsored by Health and Human Services.
Amending the 2018 county budget relative to additional state aid for community services programs and authorizing agreements in relation thereto.
Motion, please. Legislator McBride, Legislator Cantwell. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Amending the 2018 county budget relative to departmental health benefit accounts.
Motion, please. Legislator Nabuanic, Legislator Fitzpatrick. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Amending the 2018 county budget relative to public health department accounts.
Motion, please. Legislator Johnson, Legislator McBride. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, we have some informational items, revenue and expenditure spreadsheet. I'm not going to say always titillating because it gets worn down, but monthly departmental reports from the county clerk and the health benefit report. If there's no other business for the committee,
That is the treasurer's report that we really were going to put on the desk last month and inadvertently stuck it aside, so that's why I'm coming to you.
Anything further? A motion to adjourn? Legislator Drake, Legislator Johnson. We are adjourned.
All right.